coaching or something, I can immediately reach out to Jai or Pradeep, and we can do things together, something along those lines, which I think would be great. And also, of course, also sharing knowledge, experience, and skills together. And this is also a peer-to-peer environment to learn from and to share ideas, techniques, technology, best practices, methodologies, and things like that nature. And I really believe in learning through sharing. And also, whenever I learn new things from a book, I immediately share it out most of the time to some people who are willing to listen. And because of that, I retain more information by me teaching them, or by me just telling them what I learned. I immediately, I just remember instantly. And it can be a very, very safe practice ground for you to, maybe let's say you have a new idea. You want to share this idea out to people, but you don't know whether it's effective. You can use your speaking 5 to 7 minute speech on testing that thoughts, that ideas, that observations, and see if it makes sense for all of us. If all of us give you good positive feedback, then hey, it works. Things like that. And also, it's a place to relax, have fun, at the same time learning among like-minded members and leaders is not always serious. And also at the same time, we have a lot of fun doing it together. Okay.
Let me add to that, Ping. Let me add
Yes.
to that, Ping. So the last one, like a place to relax. Most of us here have been Toastmasters for a long time, and like in most of the clubs that we've been in, we're either a leader or we have to help other members, so we have to teach them how to Toastmaster. So the joy being in a club like this, everybody already knows the basics, everybody knows what Toastmastering is all about, so we can just focus now on ourselves instead of having to take care of somebody else or encourage other members to join, or to do projects and stuff like that. And so I'm hoping that here we all have the self responsibility and self motivation to develop and to grow for our own sake, because we know now that we can actually monetize, make a living out of what we learn from Toastmasters. And so here we can really focus on developing the skills and honing the skills instead of like focus on supporting others to grow. Right. I think if you've been in Toastmasters for a long time, you're probably very familiar with that. Like if you're a leader, you cannot really relax, and sometimes you have to compromise, sometimes you have to give up your time or your slots or whatever, so that you can help others. Here we can be more selfish and just take care of ourselves, but everybody is in the same level, right? Everybody's taking responsibility, and we go by the framework of Toastmasters, that when certain days we are responsible for this, we take care of that, but we no longer need to be mentored, to be taught to do that. So as a long time leaders, I see this is a place that you can just be you, and just focus on yourself instead of focusing on other people, right? So this is one of the main reasons why I thought this would be a great club. And for me personally, having been a long time member, I would just like somewhere where I don't have to worry about other members. So yeah, back to you, Ping.
Hey, thank you so much for that, Miranda. And let's proceed. And what's the benefits of joining this club? So the benefit is again, it's a safe place to practice and receive advanced constructive feedback from peers, because all of us here are experienced Toastmasters. There are a lot of DTMs here. So it's good that all the feedback that will be received are all from at least a higher level feedback that you will use and you will take and learn to develop yourself to become a much better and more effective trainers and coaches. And you learn from more experienced trainers and coaches and share each other's own unique expertise in Toastmaster spirit, incorporating pathway, framework, and curriculum. As what I have mentioned earlier, the pathway can be our guide it's kind of like a curriculum, but at the same time, the content of your speech, as much as possible, have it revolve around coaching, training, facilitating, and becoming a high impact public speaker, for example. And also a chance to learn, hone, and improve your training and coaching related skills and competencies regularly by you giving speeches or by you even contacting one another here and learn from one another. And for example, let's say you have some webinars that you want to attend or that you want to do, you can let us know and we will be there to to attend your webinar, sit with you, and after you attend the webinar, we'll give you feedback, recommendations, things like that to improve your webinars in the future to make it even much better going forward. And also, it's all about having a safe place to try new programs and validate your ideas before you launch, right? Because at the end of the day, if you launch an idea and it's not well validated, like I said earlier, it might, there's a gap that your audience might be like, wait, I don't get it. But if you have tested before and you get positive results from us, I'm not trying to say that by having a positive result from us, it will also reflect upon to your clients. However, the chances are pretty high because you've run through, perhaps you've tried it on us and we gave feedback to you on how to make it better or how to improve or what are some new topics or angles or suggestions that we can help you with. And it provides opportunities to network and collaborate with other Toastmasters and get paid. The key is to get paid for training and coaching projects, combining and complementing skills and expertise to create a richer customer experience. And I can attest to this later when I share my story on how surrounding myself with people really helps me progressing further in my life.
I,
Okay, is there anything you would like to add, Miranda, for this one?
yes, yes, please. All right. So I'm going to address some of you who've been Toastmasters for a long time, but like maybe you got stuck in your path, your educational path, or you're going very slowly. And this is I would like to invite you to see this as an opportunity to actually really progress. Let's say you've been Toastmasters for whatever, 10 years and you're still not a distinguished Toastmaster. Okay, maybe that's not your aim, but in Toastmasters, we progress by just doing our projects. So what I'm inviting you is to think it like this. If you're here in your club, you're probably like, okay, I'm just going through the motion, do this project and that project. But here, when you do your project, you do it with the thought about training, how to further your training skills or coaching skills or your business. Then I think you would be much more motivated, right? Because there is a purpose in doing your projects instead of just giving any speech or something or other. But here, every project that you do, you think, okay, how can I do this? You could do research, or you can share you can try out a new like app or technology, and and then you have to learn, and then you practice or you share it. So whenever you share about something, you actually, when you're teaching, you're actually learning. I think most of us as trainers and coaches know that whenever you're teaching, you're strengthening that skill and internalizing and integrating a lot more. And then Ping mentioned about getting feedback, right? If you do your projects here, you're trying new ideas, or you design a new course, for example, you're showing the skeleton or the outline of it, and then you check or you give it, you present it. Then we can give you feedback, whether in the club or outside. If you invite, like one of us or somebody, like in one of the members, and the point of view is very different from just a regular evaluator. Like, if you're in your club, you have evaluator that's maybe like only 2 months new, or like an old one, so it's like hit and miss. Yeah, because they also just need to practice. But here you're getting evaluation and point of view or POV of from other coaches, or at least coaching minded or training minded people, so we give the feedback with coaching and training in mind, and how would the students and respond audience respond to that. So I think this is like very, very uh, very valuable, because you don't get this in regular Toastmasters club or even outside. You may go to like a training, how to be a trainer, or how to learn this skill or that skill, but it usually just ends there. And then you have to practice on your own, and there's nobody to give you feedback. So in Toastmaster, this is what is so amazing, that we can continue, we can do it regularly, we can get the benefit, sorry, the feedback and the evaluation, and we can grow from that. That's from me. Back to you, Ping.
Thank you. Okay, let's proceed. Okay, so what is possible is to enable members to be high level national and international public speakers, coaches, trainers, both offline and online, and also to pursue a successful career in coaching and or training. And Miranda and I share this a lot, that we hope that all of us here in this club will become accredited speakers. For those of you that are not aware what accredited speakers are, Miranda, maybe you can share more about this.
Yeah. Accredited speaker is actually an accolade or an award that is higher than distinguished Toastmaster. It's very highly regarded, and it's also quite rare, because either people are not focusing on that, or they just think they don't really know what it's all about. So for example, if you have about 4,000 distinguished Toastmasters in the 4 million members in Toastmasters, accredited speakers, maybe you have less than 100, right? So what is accredited speaker? So I mean, you everybody can download it from TI International, but you can also we can also share the folder later on. It's building to be like a keynote level level of speakers, right? Usually it's international, and you have a bigger audience, and uh, and the road to get there is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I have to look at it again. It's 25. You have to do like 25 speeches that you have. Some of them have to be paid, and some of them could be not paid, but you have to chronicle them, like list them, and on such and such date you have did this speech, or did this training with how many people present, and then you also have to record one of your speech in English for, I think, 30 minutes or something like that, and you have to send it to TI, and then there'll be somebody who look at it and evaluate it, and then decide whether, I think there's a kind of like a board or something that will decide whether you can pass or not. But it's not just like you collect, oh, I've done 100 speeches or trainings before. You kind of like have to start now, and then start chronicling it, and then yeah, there's a time limit for doing that. So if you've been a DTM, or if you've done like, okay, well, is this all there is? This is like a new challenge. It's taking you to a high level, and every year, if you attend the what do you call that, the international conference, they will usually recognize maybe like two accredited speaker that had passed. So there may be like 10 people who apply for it throughout the year and work on it, and then maybe only two pass, and you can try again. Yeah, so this is a little bit on the side, and I don't want everybody to be bogged down, and I also, actually, I don't agree with Ping that everybody should be. But if you want to have a new challenge, this is what I'm saying. Anybody who wants to, yeah, what else is there? Let me take myself to try this, grow bigger or grow more. And I believe that if you put accredited speakers on your name next to LinkedIn, it will jack up, increase your value. And I've heard about people are being chosen because they're accredited speaker compared to others who are not, or who are not DTMs, things like that. Yeah, but we this is not a focus. We can, I think, we can just focus on those first two. That would be already plenty for us. Yes, back to you, Ping.
Perfect. Yes, perfect. Let's talk more and share more of our stories of what is possible for this. So Miranda, maybe you would like to share a little bit of your story.
Yes, I would love to. I am a trainer and I am a coach. I've been a trainer since 2019 and no, 2009, 2009. So a year after I started, I already became a trainer and just being gutsy because I thought, no, this is kind of good. Like I wonder, and I went to a course in Jakarta, so train the trainer. And then when I look at that, I thought I can do this, like what I learned in Toastmasters. I feel like I was better than most of the people there, at least half of them. And I thought, wow, all these things that I learned in Toastmasters in over a year already given me this, experience, these competencies, this confidence and skill. So I went back. I asked my friend, hey, can I, who's a training, a company, he has a training company. And I said, can I train? Can I give a training to one of your clients? And then she found somebody, and then so I did. So I gave my first training for one whole day using everything that I learned in Toastmasters. It was an effective communication. So I just put, a little bit of listening here, public speaking there, and just package it. And I remember I got paid for 4.5 million for that one whole day. 4.5 million is probably about a little over $300. And for me, that was like, wow, it's easy to get money like this. Because before that, I was a businesswoman, right? I had an export company, and it seems like I have to work so hard. We have to have so many products to sell, and then there's always the risk that people may reject them or not like them. But being a trainer, you have no risk, and you don't need to have any assets. You yourself, you don't even need to have employees. So I got really excited about that. So I continue, and so I train more and more, and then eventually I also train in the company that where I learned how to train, like train the trainer. And I said, can I train? I mean, can I be a trainer here? And then they did. My first class was a public class for 32 people, and I got paid 10 million a day. So I thought this is exciting. So it just more and more, it just grew from that. And so for about like 8 or 9 years, I mean 2 years after that, I also became a certified coach, like through the International Coach Federation. So now I have coaching and I have training. And for the next, I say 8 years, so yeah, about 8 years, I had a very comfortable living. I was not wildly successful, but then I also didn't try hard. I was not into marketing, into social media. I didn't even have a website, but somehow I, yeah, persevere or survive, more than survive. And then I came to this, I said, I was called to work at this very high end wellness retreat. And then there I started seeing people. I was invited as a retreat organizer and also as a coach for people who have who want to do some work on themselves. Then I see people who spend like $20,000 in a week just for the rooms and the board and like that. And I said, wow, this is a very different way of looking at money and thinking about money. And so I start like looking at myself, because until then I was comfortable. I can, live well enough, but I never seemed to have, I didn't have, like a expensive thing, like a car. I never had a car. I never had a house. So I was looking at this, wow. And then I thought, I wonder if I can make this much money, because when I worked there, suddenly, I was making like a 30-40 million a month, which is okay, divided by 14, that's how many $1,000, how many dollars in that. And it's really changed my way of thinking about money. And why I'm saying this, because that was like, let's say 3 years ago, right? 3 or 4 years ago. And last year, actually I could say last year, because on the 30th of December I also got paid. I made, during the pandemic and all, between February and December, I was earning $65,000, and that's about 900 million rupiah. And I was like, how did this happen? And I was only working with two paying clients, and when I look back, it is about like healing my issue with scarcity, with money, and this is what I would like to share with you guys. So it's not just about like how do you make that much money. It's about what you have to look inside and work through, and changing, because since it's understood that, I start not asking for discounts. I start not quibbling about little money, and thinking like, okay, the time that I spend to save that much money, like if I value myself, let's say, just say, I value my time like $150 an hour, or $100 an hour. If I spend like 1 hour doing something just to get like a 50,000 or like $5 discount, or say $5, it's not really worth my time. I'd rather pay people. And so a lot of things like this start changing, and that's how, like in the, this land how do you say, landscape about money, the inner landscape about money starting to change. And but that aside, so I know that's possible. So now if people are worrying about money, I was like, God, like, you don't need to worry about that. There's a way you can change that, and you need to, okay, certain things you have to change inside yourself, right? So that's one thing. And then it also opened up my vision and my vista about the opportunities that are available out there. There's just so many. You cannot go broke. It's almost impossible to be broke and to not have money. And if you're still broke, or you still don't have money, or you worry about money, you need to look inside, rather than like looking at the outside. Oh, it's pandemic, or like people are not paying, or this and that. But I can do that. I can tell you all that because I've experienced that, and I know how to get there. So this is like something that I would like to share with you. And but it all started with me just becoming a Toastmaster. The skills that I learned from Toastmasters is the basis. Like I'm training and I'm coaching using all the skills that I got in Toastmasters. So if I can do that, and I was I used, like, this is coming from somebody who before joining Toastmaster would have a nervous breakdown if I have to speak in front of people. Like it was me, like 2008. So if I can do that, you can do that. And I really have a strong passion for the possible. And I know every one of you can do that. And wherever you are, it's possible. And I'm happy to share that. And this is the thing, right? As I learned that, and I was talking to Yulis about that, now I learn how to change that mindset from scarcity to abundance, or how to be able to make money. Now I can teach that too. So this is another, actually I amassed so many different skills along the way that I can teach along the way, right? Like it started with public speaking and maybe listening, but now there's so many things, or even creating online courses, because I have done that. I have sold courses online and stuff like that. So the it's an unlimited possibilities. And but you have to start with looking at what is possible, instead of thinking but that something is impossible. So back to you, Ping.
Thank you so much, Miranda, for sharing your story. And I would like to also share my story a little bit. So for me, it's a little bit different. I was already a coach prior to Toastmasters. However, my story is a little bit different, meaning I my son was born in November 2018. And when my son is born, I look at life differently. I look at everything else is different. It shifted a lot. And becoming a parent, uh, it's incredible. And I was like, okay, I cannot do this anymore. I have to be independent. I have to be more responsible with my life. I have to be happier. I need to do things that ignite my passion. So on 31st of December 2018, there's a package that comes to my house, and it was a journal. And in this journal, it says, "What is your ultimate goal?" So on the 1st of January, after my son sleeping, all the fireworks no more, I sat down and I wrote. I have it framed with me until now. It's a constant reminder for me. I have it framed and I wrote down, "Move to Bali with my family by December 2019." So I wrote that. I don't know why I wrote Bali. I don't know why I wrote December 2019. I just wrote it and I believed it. That was in 1st of January 2019. I wrote this. And I said to myself, okay, I have to do this. Oh, by the way, I quit my job on the 21st of December 2018. And I told my boss I quit. And my boss is my own father. So, you know, anyway, I I looked online on how I can start, and I wanted to be a coach because I have done this to my friends. I have coached my friends, and it's working for them. So I was like, okay, might as well get paid for it. So I start to learn how to do it, and the online world says, okay, you need to have Facebook presence. Okay, done. You need to have LinkedIn presence. Done. You need to have online marketing skills. You need to have this. You need to have this. You need to have this. I started to do all these kind of things. I thought that I was moving somewhere, but it's just like I'm in a treadmill running on my own. Because why? I just realized one thing. I thought I was working, busy doing this day and night, learning or whatever, but no money coming in. Revenue zero for 6 months. And for those of you that are parents, for the first 3 to 4 months, the cost of babies, milk, diapers, all this are skyrocketing like crazy. And my expenses jumped up like crazy. My savings decreased significantly and revenue zero. So you understand how crazy it was. And then I started to, for some reason, I stumbled upon this online community of coaches. So I joined the community and I became the loudest person in the room. I start asking questions, how to become a coach, what is needed, please tell me what is needed. And this person tells me this one thing. And this concept, I follow it until now. The concept is called the yellow brick road. What is the yellow brick road? A yellow brick road means you walk one step first. By the way, the concept of yellow brick road is from Wizard of Oz. So you go one step first, and then that's it. Just focus on this one step. The moment you become an expert at this one step, the next step will magically appear, and then you focus on the next step, and then the next step, and then the next step, slowly and slowly. Because we, as a human being, we are so focused on, okay, this is the future, and we are so focused on pursuing it that you are not doing it well. And the moment I surround myself with that community, I learn like crazy. Oh, so this is how to do this, this is how to do this, this is how to do that. And in less than a month since I joined that community and I got guidance that I needed, I get my first paycheck. I still remember, it's not a lot, $119.10. I still remember the 10 cents. But it's a proof to me that, wow, having surrounded myself with a great community actually improved me significantly. And I know that this club that we are building currently together, it will help me significantly. And when I joined Toastmasters, for me, if I'm nervous, I speak really fast. The more nervous I am, the faster I talk. And now I am more composed when I speak to you. I can play along with my words. I can speak fast. I can speak slow down a little bit. I can be louder. I can be softer. I can use my hand movement, gestures, and things like that. All of that I learned because of Toastmasters. And I'm forever grateful because Toastmasters have given me a lot. And I'm also part of another organization. It's called JCI, Junior Chambers International. And without Toastmasters and without me learning how to become an effective speaker and communicator, I wouldn't have achieved this, which I got. It's called the most outstanding new member by the. It's awarded for the entire Indonesia of more than 200 something new members in that year 2020, and I got the most outstanding new member. It's nothing to do with me. It's because of me able to communicate myself and my ideas and my suggestions to people, and that inspires action. And I learned all this through Toastmasters. And when I joined Toastmasters, when I look at the pathway, the first one that I choose immediately is effective coaching because I'm a coach. I want to become a more effective coach. So I don't even look at the multiple choice thingy. I just look at, okay, effective coaching. That's it. Let's go. And my VPE told me, hey, you can select a mentor, I'll work with you for the mentor. I was like, okay. So I look at the leadership, the excos. I look at it and I saw, oh, there's this one person who is a coach, and she is Miranda. I told the VPE immediately, I want Miranda. Without even asking for invitation, without even her saying yes to me or something. I don't know. I don't care. I just said, I want her. I want her to become my mentor. And thank goodness she said yes. And now everything it's much better for me. Everything grows tremendously. It's because of Toastmasters. And I am very thankful of discovering Toastmasters in August of all. I should have joined earlier, but yeah, better late than never. And yeah, because of this, I am who I am now. And I'm not trying to do this to impress all of you. It's just to let you know that it's possible. And the club that we're building together, it'll be a special club because it's surrounded by people that are the same, similar. We are trying to become a much better trainer, coaches, and facilitators, and that will only help us grow even better as a human being and as a leader. Thank you everyone for listening to my story. And I want to invite Julius as well because Julius' story is also very different from me and Miranda. So Julius, maybe you can share a little bit of yourself.
Thank you, Ping. So if Miranda and Ping was already experienced coaches, I am the other on the other hand. My whole life is a corporate guy, a salaryman. Now I'm serving as a managing director for Gaya Makmur Surabaya. I mean, stay in Surabaya. We are a heavy equipment dealership company. I own some shares of this company and I'm also responsible for a couple more companies. So why in the hell did I need to join Toastmasters? So uh, I have this desire, and sometimes I ask myself, what should I do when I retire? Will I be staying at home all day, mumbling and grumpy old man? Or should I be contributing something to my community or people surround me? So my passion, I always like to teach or share my knowledge, not teach, share my knowledge to everyone else. And I would like to be invited all over Indonesia at least to become to teach or to share my knowledge. So to build that capabilities, I need public speaking. Where I need to train myself to be a better public speaker. So that's why I looked around and I found Toastmasters. So maybe I'm one of the most newbie here because I joined Toastmasters in March 2020. And since then, I learned a lot. I learned a lot because of pandemic as well, online meeting. So I met Miranda. I always love her energy and enthusiasm. Also then meet Ping as well. And then, during this short life in Toastmaster, I learned about storytelling, right? In my world, in my company, we are engineering company, heavy equipment. It's all about specs, data. It's when you do presentations, it's kind of boring, right? Because all numbers, all data. But now I try to learn to apply this storytelling. Now, how do you engage with your audience, even though you are presenting about uh, numbers, but how to make it more interesting. And then after following Miranda online course about mentoring, now I try to apply mentoring in my company as well. So yeah, why I joined these trainers and coaches, I don't dare to proclaim myself as a coach or trainers, and I certainly never get paid for become coach and trainers, other than inside my company in-house trainer that I do. Why I interested, to tell you the truth, because of Miranda and Pink. Secondly, because I want to follow their footsteps. And like Pink say, surrounding yourself with enthusiast people, you get infected in good way. So I think that's my story, Pink. Back to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and apologize for the background noise. My son is happily singing for whatever reason. So let me continue to progress here. And what would the meeting look like? I'm sure some of you right now will start to question, what's the meeting like? I thought we are doing a meeting, but this is kind of like a presentation. The meeting will be bi-monthly. If possible, it will be weekly. However, it will depend upon the members' interest, availability, and capacity, because all of us here are busy and also from different time zones. So it'll be a little bit hard to do all the scheduling. And the meeting will be 50% of it will be on training and coaching related topics. And 50% will be purely impromptu, meaning all the roles will be picked out of a hat on that day. So on that day, if you are table topics master, you have to come up with table topics. If on that day you are a evaluator or a GE, you have to become a GE immediately. Okay, so that is how it will make it fun. So it's kind of like impromptu, so to help us. Okay, a leader must always be prepared. A trainer or a coach must always be prepared. Just like right now, I'm being disturbed, and that is also, I need to prepare for that as well. Okay, and because this is an advanced club setting, longer and more detailed evaluation and speeches will be available, and the evaluations will be high level, more high level, as Miranda has already explained before. With that, it will be much more effective and much more powerful evaluations that you can use to improve your speeches or your ideas for the future. Okay, and we would like to go on to table topics, and Miranda, you can lead the table topic session.
Okay, so yeah, the table topic session, we are going to focus on life, on coaching and training. Again, the topics. I will give you an example. So I'm gonna do, it's gonna be an example, and it can be a form of sharing your expertise or therapy. It could be a therapy session. You can the question could be like, what if I have this issue? And then if you're a coach, if you're a trainer, you can also give that session, right? It could be makeup, I mean, like a make believe session, or you just because these table topics, you have to think fast and try to figure out how to answer that. And then this is going to be listened by fellow trainers and coaches that understands you and can give you suggestions on whatever you're coming up with. So I will do the sample table topic session, but before that, Julius, maybe you can help us taking picture of all the participants, and we can probably remove the sharing for now. So let's
Sure.
just, hey, are you? I can see you now. So
So
Ode,
everyone, please turn on your video. It will be only one time pictures.
hi,
So maybe do your freestyle.
yeah.
Yeah, formal style is boring, right?
So hi,
So ready? One, two, three. Okay, thank you.
thank you. All right. So who would like to try? Come on, you're all experienced, and just go for it, and I'll find the right answer question for you or topic. We have yeah, we can have like almost 10 people. There's not going to be an evaluation, and there's for this time there's not going to be a voting. All right. But I hope we're past needing to be the winners. But just like experience that. So who would like to try? If you don't say it, I'm going to volunteer you. Do you know that word volunteer? It's been kind of like coined by one of the Toastmasters in Bali. So rather than volunteer, we will volunteer. All right. Would you like to try? Okay, if you nobody's like volunteering, I'm going to be volunteering. I'm going to go with Andre. All right. So Andre.
I'm going to try.
All right. So who is your inspiration as a trainer? Like what do you admire about that person?
Before that, Miranda, I'll be the timekeeper.
Yes, Maylin, thank you. Or I thought Yulia's going to do that, but
Oh,
okay.
oh really? Okay. I'll do it. I'll do it.
No. Please do, Melik.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
I will leave early. Sorry for
Okay,
that.
no
I have
worries. No
another
worries.
meeting after this.
Thank you for the spirit, Maylin. I love that. You don't have to be told, somebody just volunteers. Thank you. So, Andre, when you're ready.
Yep. Well, I'm trained not to be a speaker, actually. The thing that I still remember is being trained to ignite my inner values. And you know the person is, right? What I really like about this person is really giving me the inspiration to see myself deeper as a human being, and understand the values that I have within, and how to really ignite them, show them. And one value that I still hold until now is love. And that is the reason why I still stick here in this foundation to be a volunteer. So right now, I'm still a volunteer there, teaching public speaking to the students there. Well, being a public speaking teacher there as a volunteer of public speaking, I'm also inspired by Toastmasters because I got all the experience being a speaker in Toastmasters. And I want to share that to people, to those young people, young Balinese who cannot afford to go to college and to have a university degree. So I kind of combine this value that I have within with the skills that I get in Toastmasters. So that's why I still stick here. I'm still here in this foundation called Karuna Bali Foundation in Ubud to be a volunteer. And all of this thing happened because I'm inspired by this person who really knocked me and make me realize that I have this love within me. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Andre. And I happen to know this person, and he's also my inspiration. And he's an amazing trainer. Like the energy just changed when he's there in front of you. And so I really can appreciate that. And thank you for sharing that. Yes. Next, please. Okay. Is that a hand clapping or hand raising? Suddenly there are a lot of non-videos. What happened? So who would like to do it? Okay, 1, 2, 3. If you don't raise your hand, I'm going to volunteer you. So we have 10 questions. So almost all of you are going to get this. All right. So David. So David, like me, became a trainer because of Toastmasters, right, David? Right? So
Correct,
we actually have
Miranda.
the same teacher. Or were you a trainer before? I think you became a trainer, like you left the corporate and become a full trainer after being in Toastmasters, something like that, right? So we
Yep,
kind of like
correct.
share that experience. We also share the same teacher. So what is your favorite training story that you used in your trainings?
Okay, favorite training story, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wait. Okay, this is the story about how I got my first interview. So after I graduated from university, of course, I want to find a job. So I sent as many application letter as possible. And then one day, as if my prayer were answered, my cell phone rang. And when I look at it, oh, unknown numbers. And then when I pick it up, oh, correct. It's an invitation for a job interview. And you can imagine how happy I was because it was my very first interview. And even though it's my very first interview, but it's really suitable for me because it comes from a food company. I always love to work in a food company. And the position also is in marketing. So to cut the story short, so I met with the marketing manager. And then he asked me several questions. Up until this one point, he asked me this question. David, if I ask you to sell liquor, are you ready to do that? And I started to think, this must be a trap. This must be to test whether I'm a good person with ethic. So I said, no, I don't want to do that. And then, okay. So finally the interview finished and I went back. And when I went back, I passed the warehouse and you can imagine how surprised I am. Because in front of the warehouse, I saw stack and stack of anggur kelesom cap orang tua, which is actually a liquor. So at that time, I realized, oh, so that story, so that question, it is actually not to test whether I am an ethical person, but it's just the real question. So the moral of the story is, if you happen to have an interview, if you have presentation, always know your audience before. Don't make a mistake, just the one that like I did. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, David. Wow, I can see the experience in that, and for those of you who didn't know, David really worked on becoming a great storyteller. So he worked hard and he practiced and he taught it. So it shows, right? And thank you for sharing that. I'm looking forward to hearing more of those stories, David. Okay, next person. I feel that you want to say something.
Wait, myself.
All
I
right.
would be because you're gonna ask me a question.
Always ready, like the battery, right? What are the 3 most important coaching skills that you use most often?
Okay. Thank you, Miranda. The 3 most coaching skill that I use very often. I used to think that it's all about what I know, what what I want to give to the other and my idea of the ideal. I got it. I want to teach them. I want to bring them from point A to point B. And I just so wanted. Throughout my experiences, and really then met with tough situations where they just either froze or just, I can't do this, I want to give up. Yet I know if they give up, they will not go anywhere. It's like, where else can I dive into? Because I see the path and I cannot let them go, but they can't. So I'm thinking aloud now. But the very first important thing that I really learned is really asking then one, why do I do what I want to do? Which brings me to the first skill, which is listening. Where are they at right now? What are they really needing right now? Because at the moment, if their pain screams too loud, they cannot hear anything else. So I need to listen. I need to truly listen. I need to forget about the tools and anything that I have. I need to truly listen and be humble and be present with them. So listening is, and then it reminds me of your title of your book, Miranda, listening is sexy. So sexy. Listening is so sexy. So that's the first skill I would say. Secondly is holding the space maybe, but this is also part of listening. I don't know how I'm doing with the timing. Maybe I'll break it down. Listening is being present, the skill of being present, holding the space, and then what's next? Spotlighted by the host of Mylene. The third skill would be listening, holding the space, and the third one, I would say and there is then the coaching and guiding, working things out. I'm confused a little bit and a bit distracted with on Mylene's screen. It would be, there is then after they feel complete, they feel completely listened to, they are given the space, and then we can move to the tools and maybe see how they're how I can guide them. But all the time is me staying in my integrity to be there with them, to journey with them, to be where they are, while guiding them passionately to where they need to be. I think that's to sum up.
Okay. Thank you, Ayu.
Thank you, Miranda.
Yes, thank you. And for those who didn't know, Ayu also had a background of being a teacher for many, many years, and then a school administration leader, and then became a trainer, and then a coach, now starting to coach. So I'm happy to have you here and look forward to you being in the club. Okay.
Thank you, Miranda. Such a pleasure.
Next person, let me ask, let's see. Mom Indah.
I feel it.
You feel it? I start with the vibe first.
Okay.
Okay. So what would you like to change or improve about your current training or training business or training skills? What would you like to change or improve about your current training business or training skills? You can choose either one.
Thank you, Miranda. Hello, everyone. I'm Inda. And what would like I change for my training skill and my coaching? Surely about my academic skill. I believe there are two sources which you can use to share your things, whether in training, webinar, or coaching. it is a source of credibility based on the accurate data and the source of your experience. And I only got one, Miranda. I only got the experience, which I believe it is actually authentic one. It is original one. But I need to change. I need to improve my academic skill because at least I still believe people still connect to the title behind their name. And I don't have any. See? So if you're asking me, what should I have a change in my training and coaching skill? I need to upgrade my formal education. But am I too old? Well, who cares about the look? Because most important is what you feel, right? On a paper, I am 42, but I would like to say I am as energetic as 24 girl. So this is it. I hope I could have a chance and I could create the opportunity to upgrade my academic formal education, and I can be one of them. A great trainer, inspiring coach. Thank you.
Thank you, Inda. Wow. For those who don't know, Inda is one of the owner of like this English school, right?
Yeah.
English school at Kampung Inggris, or the English village in East Java, a village that's concentrated for people just learning English. So there are many different schools, and people can learn English at the very low cost. So for
Yeah,
instance,
it's
so
true.
it's very affordable and it's very effective. We have one member in our club. His name is Reza, and he speaks quite fluently, not perfectly, but quite fluently after just learning for 3.5 months. So I was very impressed.
Yeah, Reza was one of our person here.
Yeah.
Reza told me a lot about how he really adored about Bali Toastmasters. Thank you.
Yeah, and I just have the deepest respect for you. And if I
Thank
can
you.
share with you my personal opinion, I would say you don't need the titles, and then you are a baby. You're only 42. I'll be 60 next year. So and I joined Toastmasters at 46. And you know, to tell you the truth, I have an MBA, but nobody ever asked about it. I never had to show it. I don't even have the diploma. You know, like, I mean, I don't know where it got lost somewhere, but you know, I never used it. I never hang it. Nobody ever asked it. But my DTM, I think, is valued a lot more. So if I can give you a suggestion, work on your Toastmasters education and become a DTM, and you will, how would I say, you will emanate, project the quality. It's not so much that the titles anymore, and I can truly vouch for that. So forget about the titles. All right. I don't know if anyone agree with me, but
Thank you for suggestion though. Thank you.
yeah, because what you did is already so much greater than people with a lot of degrees. So don't worry about it, right? You've already changed so many people with your work. All right. Thank you. So next, I would like to call upon Jay. You ready, Jay?
Madam Topic Master, I'm all ears.
Yes. All right. So let me look for the most challenging one.
Oh my God.
No, don't do this to me.
Okay. I won't. So you're more a trainer than a coach, right? Or
That
are
is
you?
correct. That is correct.
Okay, so let me look at the training question.
Sure.
What is your biggest challenge in training?
Okay, that is a very straightforward answer in my case, especially for those of you who do not know me or who are meeting me for the first time. I am vision impaired, which means I am legally blind. I'm visually challenged. And honestly, that is one of my biggest challenges in training. In fact, it is a bigger challenge in training than it is when I'm speaking on stage. Because when I go to speak on stage, I know I have come prepared to actually deliver a message, which I feel very strongly about. But if I'm in training, it's got to be a lot more interactive than the speeches I sometimes deliver. And I got to make sure I feed off or bounce off the energy of the room, the feedback I receive from the audience that cannot be, that most of you can see it. Since I cannot see that feedback, are they looking bored? Are they distracted? Are they looking as if they are frustrated? Or possibly they're enjoying it? Why? Even positive feedback, right? They're delighted, they're laughing, they're smiling. All these feedbacks cannot be seen by me being blind. So I find that very challenging, honestly speaking, to be able to detect it and do my best all the time to continue to maintain my energy levels, my enthusiasm levels, and my excitement levels at a high degree, so that whatever happens, I'm able to at least pass on some of that energy, enthusiasm, and excitement to the audience, even though I can't see how they are receiving it. As a trainer, one message I would love to share with all of you is, since it's in the pandemic period now, the three most infectious E words in training has been energy, enthusiasm, and excitement. And I find if you can and deliver with energy, excitement, enthusiasm, the audience gets infected and they pick it up. So my challenge being not be able to see them, it is to keep or maintain my levels pretty high octane or on full tank all the time, so that I know whatever happens, I've given my best. I just want to end with this very powerful quote, which is, one person cannot change the world, but we can change the world of one person by being who we are, despite our challenges. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Well, if anybody wants to clap, you can clap and unmute yourself, because Jay probably cannot see your enthusiasm, but we can express it with sound.
Good job, Jay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yay.
Awesome, Jay. Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, Jay, I'm surprised you said. Well, it's not. I'm surprised, but I the every time that I've been in your presence, I have never felt like you are so entertaining, and you're so on point, and you're so heartfelt. So if in my opinion, if you can just believe in that, don't worry about the people out there, and just like really be passionate about your message. I think like what you said in the last quote, in the end, I can't remember exactly what it says, but I mean, yeah.
For you.
Huh?
I can repeat it quickly for you.
Yes.
Yes, one person cannot change the world, but we can change the world of one person.
By being yourself. I think
yes, by being yourself. Yeah.
That's what I was like, the key word for me. Just be you. Like you're very lovable. You're very easy to warm to, and then like you already master the speaking skills. And I would just forget about the people. Just focus on your message and really feel about wanting to give that to people. And knowing that like you have with the biggest intention, with the most loving intention, and everything will be taken care of. All right, if not, let's talk more about it, because I know how we can do that. All right, so thank you, Jay, for inspiring us. And aren't we all inspired by Jay? And just, you're so enjoyable to listen to. All right, so I would like to ask somebody that I haven't really met yet, which is Distinguished Toastmaster Pradeep Kumar. Can I hear from you?
Yes, madam.
And you are a trainer, correct?
I'm a consultant, trainer, and coach.
Okay, all right. Okay, let me give you a coaching question then. What would be the question you use to get your coachee or your client to open up or to speak more?
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters. Basically, the approach I use, like the school I learned about coaching, is we say that we got to get to know about the story of the person. So it says that the story and the story behind the story. So it could be to say, like, you could, first of all, you build up a rapport by saying how are things and how's life and how's it all going, and then talk about the challenge. So when you're talking about the story, it's basically to ask the person to tell about the person's background and what happened, probably from childhood. And there would be some areas which you would get in the story, which you could link to the objective, the challenge which the person, the sponsor is working on. So it's very, very important for us to ask the person to talk about his or her story. Because that's when we know that, yeah, there has been something, there has been a problem, there has been a father who's been very strict with this person. And that's something which sort of reflects in the challenge today. So I think that's where we can work around helping the coachee to come up with goals on what they may have to do, or person has come up from a background where challenge, for example, in India, there are many people who have not studied in an English school and they have a challenge in communication. But we got to sort of, when the stories are said, then what we sort of tell the coachee is it's some sort of a fixation of what the person thought, that English is so important, but it's not so. It's about just communicating. So I think asking the story is the key thing. And as a coach, I think the most important thing is to be a listener and listen with empathy.
Mm-hmm.
And then ask the right questions.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Pradeep. So we all get a little bit of a learning already, right? From a real coach. And now I would like to ask somebody who haven't heard yet from, let's say, the ones who are not members yet. There's actually Sri Ram. Can I see you? Oh, sorry. Before that, let me go to Ugang first. And then after that, oh, here he is. Okay. This is Sri Ram. So show it. Show yourself again. Sri Ram is from Nepal. He's a trainer in nonviolent communication, and he has taught, I don't know, 1,500 schools, or, his ambition is to teach NVC to all Nepal, and he's called Color Nepal with NVC or something like that, right? I give you that slogan.
Yeah,
Color NVC.
it's
NVC.
yeah, color Nepal with NBC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and he's so well known and becoming almost becoming a household name now, in training in nonviolent communication. And he came to Bali and yeah, it was involved in a nonviolent communication training with me. And then he also joined Toastmaster for a short while, and that's been like 2 years or almost 3 years ago. And so I'm bringing him in, and hopefully he would join and then be able to share his perspective as a trainer from that side. Okay, so a question for you now. The time is 1 to 2 minutes. So watch Ong Mei Lin, the one with the blue
Yeah.
color there. So yeah, I have this one. Where is that? What is your favorite training icebreaker or connection activity? So what is an icebreaker or
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah? Okay.
Okay. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. I'm really grateful for being here and share my experience. Normally, during the training, non-violent communication is more about this creating more connection within the team and the community. And so for me, the icebreaker is to walk around, to mingle in the group, and then just check in and listen to each other without responding in a certain way, like not a conversation, but just listening to one another, how what's alive in them. So that's what I used to do. And because it gives the quality of connection when we listen fully, and then when we receive each other in the way we communicate and we listen. So I enjoy doing it. I guess that's it for now. I have only that one.
Yeah. Okay. Is that it?
Did you hear me?
Yeah, we heard you. There was a little bit breaking, but I think we got the gist of it. So it's listening and without walking around the room and just listen without having a conversation and just listen, basically, right? That's how you connect. And I totally agree with you. And thank you.
Uh,
Huh? Is that right?
yeah. Yeah. Just a little bit. There was a part missing because I guess in Nepal, normally in the evening, I do not have good internet connection and I'm in out sometimes. But actually, what I do is bringing them together, and we are working in peers. Just one is sharing what's alive in him or her at that particular moment. The another one is just listening with full presence, not doing anything, just listening with their whole body, and then that's what. Thank you for this space to clarify.
Yes, thank you. So listening and working in pairs, one person just speaks and the other person just listens with full presence and with the body. That's what I heard, right? Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, and thank you. And apparently, this had been a very successful way of connecting because, yes, Sriram has been very, very successful in what he does. Thank you. And now I would like to listen to Ugeng. Sorry, like you turned off your video, so I kind of like lost you for a bit. So Ugeng is also, I guess, a renowned trainer in Indonesia. I got so many people recommending Ugeng to be invited and to join this club. So Ugeng, I'm going to give you a question, right? Ready?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So how do you prepare yourself for your training? Like I'm not talking about the material, but like on the day of the training, is there a routine or how do you get into the prepare mentally, physically, and emotionally?
Okay. Thank you. So, yeah, so to get prepared for the trainings, that actually I have three things that I have to prepare. First, yeah, the mentally. So I have to be ready that mentally. Sometimes I feel nervous. I just do some uh, stretching, and some maybe I go to the bathroom in a hotel if it's the training in a hotel, and I have to release the stress. Yeah, so the mentally I will be ready. And the second one is the health condition. Yeah, so like today actually I get fever and not really in good conditions. So that I guess the training that I deliver is not really optimized. But because I love the material, I love the training, I really passionate about it. I still maintain the condition. But yeah, I guess as a trainer, please avoid drink ice. So yesterday I just drink ice, and yeah, the effect is right now I'm not really in good condition. And the last one is, yeah, prepare your material, because actually personally I'm an agile coach. So agile coach is like a combination between the digital material and also coaching material. So yeah, I have to prepare about this, and because sometimes the participants are really critical persons. I mean, like sometimes really have a good question, so we have to really master the material. So I guess before we are become a trainer, please prepare the material, and if you have experience in the company, I think that really help you to become a good trainer. Thank you. Back to the table topic master.
Thank you, Ugeng. Wow. We just got some education from a very professional trainer who works professionally. And I really respect that professionalism that you share. And so I can see that you must be a very good trainer. And I love that you're very passionate about your material. Thank you. Right. Okay, one last question. Is Sharmini still around, Jay? Or is she available to do a topic? Oh, there you are. Sharmini.
Yes.
Coach Sharmini. So I'm going to ask you the last question.
Early retirement from coaching, but go ahead.
You're not coaching anymore? Is that what you say?
No, I'm just helping Jay with his work. It's been a tough few years with family commitments. My father-in-law just passed away after a very long illness.
Oh, sorry.
So it's been a lot. It's tough when a coach needs coaching, you know what I mean?
Okay, I have a great question for you then.
Heal thyself, kind of a thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I have this. So, what would a great coach look to you? So, where's that question? Where's what would a great coach for you look like?
Okay.
So you need a coach, right? You know, how would you look? You know, like what kind of coach would you like?
I think a great coach is, I mean, we've covered this a lot. I think a few of you covered this, is someone who really listens. And one of the things, and is in the moment, yes, and is kind of at peace with his or herself. Because I think you cannot coach I coach very well if your mind is in turmoil or if your heart is not in the right place. So I think you need yourself kind of in a proper position or a proper place. And just before you start coaching, you kind of have a bit of mindfulness activity to get really in your space. And then just listen and let everything else go out of your head and just truly listen. So I think a great coach coaches both from the head as well as the heart. I don't think it's just from the heart. It's also from the head, because sometimes you got to use your mind to understand what the coachee is going through. So a great coach is someone who's got a lot of experience, has felt what the mentee or the coachee is going through while he or she speaks, and is able to perceive something more than actually what the person is telling him or her. So that comes from a lot of experience. It comes from being through pain, if I may say so. If you've gone through pain, you can understand better. And also from having a heart of giving, heart of love, I would say. So a great coach is someone who has love, who has gone through some experiences, and just listens from the head with the heart. That's my take on what a great coach is, Mirinda.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And what a great way to wrap up this table topic session. I think that it's so valuable to listen, you know, with your head and with your heart, and so that you have the mindfulness, I think, to hold the space, right, for your coachee, and then to be able to ask the right questions. I think the questioning is very important, but you know, you wouldn't be able to ask the right questions if you're not totally present. I think as a coach, it's one of the most challenging things to be fully present and not having your own agenda as you're being there. Yeah. So thank you so much. We can learn a lot from you. And how is everybody? Did you enjoy this session? Did you learn something? And please raise your hand if you enjoyed that. And yeah. Okay. Thank you. Great. So so that is a taste what we could experience in this club, and probably a lot more, you know, bigger and longer. So I'm going to give the podium back to Ping. And Ping, I need a little bit of time to pick up my laundry from the rain. So go for it.
Great. So why now, right? Why we want to push this right now? It's so that we can take advantage of the way, you know, the new club charter fee will be waived. It costs $125 if we were to charter this club before or by January 31st, 2021. The faster, the better. So we want to waive this off, $125, and I mean, it's not a big amount of money, but however, I mean, if we can waive it, why not, right? And of course, with given now that everything is going crazy in the world, more widespread and popular online learning trends, it provides unprecedented opportunities. And especially for Jay, that's currently in Bangalore, India, and we have myself in Bali, Miranda in Bali, and we have Indah in Kupang and Julius in Surabaya, and we are all everywhere around the world. And we'll have Alicia, who has already committed to joining this club. She's from Australia, so we are from all over the world, and we meet and
Alicia
share
Curtis?
our knowledge experience.
I'm
Say
sorry,
again?
Alicia Curtis?
Yes, Alicia Curtis.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know her.
Yeah. Yes, she already committed, already signed up to be our member. So with that, everything is online and everyone can learn from one another online, and that this is a good opportunity. And we thought being online, we wouldn't be able to meet with each other and collaborate. So this is a amazing opportunity. That's a blessing in disguise from all this pandemic situation. And of course, why not now? That's the question. Why pass an opportunity where you can be surrounded by people that are also trainers and coaches and facilitators, and be coached by them as well at the same time, and learn from one another? Just like earlier today during the table topics, I learned a lot and I wrote a lot of notes. And also, Jay, I like it when you said energy, excitement, enthusiasm, and it's something that I will use more and more to give myself more energy before and during the training, actually. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
And the meeting details, it will be fully online, and the meetings will be on the second and fourth Thursdays, and it'll be on 5 to 7 p.m. GMT +8 Bali time, or 4 to 6 p.m. Jakarta time GMT +7. Of course, this is it. Some people said that they might not be able to attend on second and fourth Thursdays. It's negotiable at this time. And Miranda, you can share more perhaps about this.
Yeah. Thank you, Ping. Thank you. And yeah, if you can just go back to the slide before, just quickly. So yeah, why now? So I think, if you want to grow your business, you want to grow yourself, there's no time right now, like now, like with the pandemic, we're learning, we have so much opportunities, and I think we should take full advantage of the online environment. And for those of you who have been Toastmasters, I know a lot of you are already leaders, and so you understand the importance of the waiving of charter fee. We don't have to pay the $125 charter fee. So we only pay like basically a renewal. And this is a special offer or special support from Toastmasters International to help clubs to have new clubs during the pandemic. That's why we want to charter this club as soon as possible. And at the moment, we already have 14 people committed. So we only need about 6 more to start. But if we have more than 20, that is fine too. So I need to, after this, I'd like to know who is interested so that we can move forward. And if, by knowing who's interested and who wants to join, then we know how many more members we need to recruit or not to recruit or charter right away. Okay, so yeah, how much? So we're going to go to that place now. Is that right, Ping? Is that where you want me to be? Or the time, the meeting details? Yeah, I think most people can do this second and fourth Thursdays. I haven't really heard anybody who object to that. However, there is a meeting right after that in our division. So we meet at 5 to 7 p.m. GMT +8, and then there's another club meeting, another club in Division G, who's meeting like an hour later. Just it's not necessarily a deal breaker. We can still do that, and since this is kind of like a very special club, it's not like everybody needs to be available to support us. Like hopefully we'll have enough members and we can sustain ourselves without really needing help from other outside the club, right? So I don't think this is a huge issues, but if there's and Ping mentioned earlier about the 4-week 4 times or weekly meetings. So if there is enough people who wants to do it in a different time, and they're willing to organize that, then we can have like 2 sets of excos doing 2 meetings each, and then it's a possibility too. So basically, people who have registered, after this we're going to create the group, the WhatsApp group already, and we're going to start talking and discussing. So we're moving very fast. and I believe that we can. And if, yeah, so with that, what I want to say about that? Yeah, okay, so next is how much. So this is like a straight Toastmasters fee, $7.50 times 9, which is 67.5. So we have to do it like for 9 months instead of 6 months. That's why we don't have to pay the charter fee, right? So if you guys understand the chartering requirements, usually it's 6 months and then plus the $125 charter fee. So we don't pay the charter fee, but we pay directly for 9 months, which for me is not really a waste because you're using that months. All right, so yeah, the deadline was actually yesterday. This is because we did this introductory meeting last week, and that's how we got to the 14. And so this meeting now is we want to fill up the slots. And yeah, the slots, we need 20 to charter, but if more, that's not a problem. But we need to find that 20 first. And for those of you who had never been a charter member, this is an opportunity to be a charter member, which is something that is quite a privilege. Not everybody is a charter member of a club. Charter member means like you are the founder of that club, and you have a special certificate or piagam in Bahasa Indonesia that says that you are a charter member of this club. And yeah, it's not a chance that comes very often. So, and it gives you a special pride when you do that. All right. So, and the way the registration form is designed, so you can put your debit card or Visa card. So that would be like a 67.5 that will be charged by Toastmasters International. So we're not going to charge it. Toastmasters International are going to do it, and it will be charged on the day that whenever they process it. So when we get 20 members, we're going to process the charter documents, send it, and then it takes any time from 3 days to 10 days for them to process that. And then on the day that they process that, that's when your card will be charged. And we don't keep anything to ourselves. And as you know that without the CVV, we can't really use your card. So and then once we're chartered, then the data will be destroyed. We're not going to keep that. Okay, so next thing after that is already further information. All right, that would be the gist of it. And now we open for question and answer. Anybody has any question? And I think if you want to note that down, but I think most people have my numbers because I have contacted each one of you personally, right? And it's in the invitation also. I think we can remove that. And we're open for questions.
Yeah.
Miranda?
Yes.
Hi. You had mentioned that the roles for each meeting would be picked up on the spot from a hat or something like that, right?
So let's say we have 2 meetings a month.
Yes.
One meeting would be focused solely on like trainings and coaching topics, but
yes.
we can be prepared.
Right.
You already know you're going to speak it. And then the other week, or the other 50% of the meeting, not at the same meeting. So it's always different meetings.
Yes.
So one time it's fully on trainings and coaches, and the next one, it would be totally impromptu, but the topic would still be
right.
or coaching, or maybe we can discuss about it, maybe not making it a training and coaching, but it's just impromptu.
So what would be the roles that you have in mind for these meetings?
Same as usual, like you're talking about Toastmaster of the meeting, general evaluator, evaluators, and table topic master. So they have to come up with everything right on the spot. And there was an experience or experiment where this is like super impromptu. They start with the evaluation first, and then you have to come up with the speech.
Okay, yeah.
It's really fun. It's really bizarre, but very challenging. It's like, what do you have to say now?
Right.
You know? So we can be very creative about that, you know.
I'm sorry, I'm just one more follow-up question. Is this going to follow any path or something? Is it a pathway program?
Yeah, it's a Toastmaster thing.
It's exactly the same as, you know, like, I mean, now we do our paths projects,
Yes.
like different clubs and all that. We do exactly the same. But let's say your project that you're going to do in the
I'm, for example, presentation mastery. I'm on presentation mastery now.
yeah. So let's say one of your speeches is, let's say, I think the level 1, prepare to speak professionally, right?
Yes.
So that's one. So then you speak about coaching or training, about experience, right? So the other speeches you can do in other clubs, but speech in the TNC, then it has to be like a training and coaching related topics.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Clear, yeah?
Yeah, very clear.
Anyone else would like to ask the questions? Yeah, what about, you know, David, Andre, Ayu, and who else who has not been active for a while? Do you have any question? Do you have any interest? By the way, this is the sunset from my house. Just not right now, but, you know, like there are days when the sunset is like that.
Miranda, this is Pradeep here. Like, my question is, are all members dual members? They would be members of other clubs and be part of the club, is it?
Since this is an advanced club, the requirement for advanced club, at least 17 of the members are dual.
Okay.
And then the 3 could be new, which we're not considering right now, or reinstated or transfer, which means they only have 1 membership, right? And then I think eventually, once you're, you know, like, I mean, once this is chartered, and then eventually, if you don't want to continue, I mean, please don't quote me on this. I think you can choose to just remain in an advanced club. Yeah, but to start with, you have to be dual members.
Right.
Yeah, so we're not taking members from existing clubs. I think that's the point of it. So for those of you who are now inactive, we have 3 slots that are readily available for you to join without having to be a dual member. So that goes to David, Andre, Ayu, and I think that's all, right? Only 3 of you who are inactive at the moment. I have another name. Oh, Sriram, if he wants to join, because he had been a member. Yes. Did we say the money? Yeah, we did. Okay, anybody else have any question?
Miranda, is this coming under a particular district, the club?
It would be in District 87 and it would be in Division G.
All right, cool. Thanks.
But it's fully online. Yeah. Well, if there's no question, I'd like to ask for some comments. I would like to start with Ayu. So what is your comments? What is your thoughts? And yeah, what did you think about this initiative?
I think it's amazing. I mean, look at us and the opportunity of what this online club can bring for us, for the work, the mind sharing, network sharing, and many more. How long will the meeting be? That will be one question and one concern for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Other than that, I'm very excited about it, and I'm very excited to learn more from all of you here. And I think it would be cool also to have planned some outing and meet up in person at least once a year.
Yeah.
It would be so amazing.
We could go to India, we could go to Malaysia, and you know, that would be so much fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So time wise or collaborate, of course, right? So time, we at this moment we're looking at 2 hours. So if we can make in about 2 hours, so that means whatever is stated there, room opens 15 minutes before, and then a meeting starts, and we finish at 2 hours max. Hey, my dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I personally find it a bit long,
Mm-hmm.
2 hours. And wondering if there's a possibility to have the meeting a little bit shorter, because I do all my teaching, training, and coaching also online and sitting a lot. So wondering if there's a possibility to make it even more effective. When was that? Years ago when I went to Switzerland, they do a meeting within 1 hour. The club meets at lunchtime. And I was so amazed at and the Swiss people are like all about timing, and they can do everything, prepare speeches, impromptu within 1 hour. Like, oh God, that is
Okay.
possible. And I'm just wondering whether we can have a trial of a shorter time.
Like what I could look for, I mean, like think of, it could be an hour and a half. But remember, this is not the same club as a regular club where the speeches are, just 5 to 7 minutes, where the evaluation is only 3 minutes. Being an advanced club, the evaluation tends to be longer, and also you can stretch the speech longer. So if you think about it, like, I mean, if you're going to present an idea, 5 7 minutes you just do the outline. But if you want to do trial, at least like 10 to 20 minutes, it's a possibly the speech is already that long. And then the evaluation is usually in advanced club, it's not from just one person, it could be from a few people. And I've been in advanced club where I had an evaluation for 1 hour. My speech was 20 minutes. The evaluation was 1 hour. And it was very complete because they look at all the different aspects, of the speech. So to me, like we can experiment. And also what I would like to share with you guys, this is your club. This is our club. This is not my club, or this is not Pink's club. But I hope that we're all self-responsible, we have ideas, and we can put it together. And today feels long because you're not very active. Like you were listening to just a full presentation, was quite long, about an hour long. But normally when you're active, when the roles are changing, I don't think it would feel that long, right? So but I think I can consider, we just have to try first and to see how the meeting is. And then I can see 1.5 hours a possibility, but less than that would not be like how would I say, like if we meet like in 2 weeks and then we only meet very little, then we have a piecemeal of everything instead of being able to go deeper. So that's my idea, because I also don't know, because I haven't done this as a meeting per se. So once people start joining, then we start, like I mentioned before, there's a WhatsApp group that's going to start today with the people who already registered. And then as soon as you register, you're going to be added to that, and you can start joining the conversation and start planning how we're going to do our first meeting and all those things, right? So if we can get charted by, let's say by next week, in a week from now, then I could see we have a meeting and in the last week of January, or at the very latest in the 1st of February. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Sounds great. Thank you, Bu.
Thank you. I'm listening to everybody's suggestions. All right. So now I would like to ask from Ugang.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, wait. Okay, so yeah, I think these clubs, I think is quite potential to share our skills, our experience as a coach, as a trainer. So yeah, I think it's a good opportunity from my perspective.
Mm-hmm. Would it be something that is interesting for you? I mean, yeah, I was just, okay, well, we don't have to talk about it now. But if you're interested in joining or okay, we'll talk about that later. And now I would like to ask Jay, what is your impression or comments about this?
Yep. Firstly, I thought it was, I firstly think it's very innovative, what you put together in terms of a structure and the objective. And I know you started with the mission and the vision of this entire club. I thought it's very interesting. Personally, as both a trainer and sometimes a mentor to so many people who come to me, I do believe that there is so much to learn from everybody. It could help me hone or polish my skills and take it to the next levels. And, you know, to be very honest, if all this leads to my getting my dream penthouse apartment with an infinity pool, why not? I see nothing wrong in that too, right? To dream big, right? So, so it's something to consider. I just need some time to reflect on all that happened today. If you can give me some time.
Sure.
Yeah. I love the meeting. I love the overall vibes, and it's good to be among fraternity. And I think fellowship is so good. And this is just an extension, I believe, of Toastmasters and vice versa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I will send the recording also of this meeting to everybody.
Okay.
Listen again. So let me hear from Mom Inda. Is she gone? Okay, she's gone. What about Andri?
Well, this is actually a great idea for us as speaker, especially for me to challenge myself to speak in front of you, great people. You are great speakers, great leaders, trainers, coaches, and I feel it's really a challenge for me to, you know, to speak and to. I believe I can get a lot of things to learn from all of you, and I believe I can improve myself further. So it's a great idea, actually. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Andri. Yes. And Pradeep.
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful idea. And because personally, I've always traveled quite a lot when I was in my corporate career and as a consultant and trainer. And I love to meet people from different cultures, different countries. So I think that's a great opportunity here. And
you did say you were going to come to Jakarta, right? You're the one who said.
I was supposed to be in somewhere in not Jakarta, somewhere in Indonesia. I think some island for training on lean just before the pandemic stuff. But that got deferred. Maybe I would come sometime. I don't know where. It's supposed to be an island. I think they're going to take me there and take me in a flight to that place. That was what I was told. But that didn't happen, unfortunately. But maybe it'll happen. So I like that. So I think, as you said, the objective is really for all of us as consultants, trainers to get connected as well. And as Jay also mentioned, that we can also hone our skills and become better and get a lot of feedback from across things. So one of the questions you asked is, what's the biggest challenge as trainers? Sometimes it's though we think that we do a good job, so one section of the people think we have done a great job, and there are other people who think that we have done a bad job. So it could be from cultures, it could be from different ideas, different backgrounds, or different styles of speaking, or whatever it is. So I think a mixed sort of gathering here from different parts of the world. Probably you'll get people from other parts of the world as well. So that would make it very, very interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
How you're going to manage this? Are you going to have this typical structure of the president and the officers and all that, or is it going to be a little more?
Yeah, there would be like a skeleton structure.
Okay.
So the one of the point is that, you know, you're not bogged down with the administrative side of it or the leadership. You can, and we just look and we try to make the load as light as possible.
Yeah, that is important. That's important.
Definitely.
So I've been in Toastmasters for long. I've done president of one club for 3 times, president of another charter president of another club for 2 times, and I've done quite a lot. So, and I like this to not be bogged down by all that, but then more like learning and applying the skills of what you do in training or in coaching.
Right. We all want to be like that. So we're on board with that. Thank you. I will, just contact me if you have more questions. And now, Andre, you managed to sit for the whole meeting this time.
Yeah, Miranda, thank you so much. But it's been raining very hard here in my place. I'm really sorry. So
we can hear you.
It's really great meeting. I really enjoyed the session, and especially the double topics, when I could hear everyone share their stories based on the questions that you asked, Miranda. It's amazing. And I'm not a coach, I'm not a trainer, but I believe by joining this club, I can be one. And I hope I can be a great one too. Thank you so much. I'll be in touch with you, Miranda.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, fellow Toastmasters.
Right. And I know a few people I didn't ask questions. Oh, actually, there's one more that, I mean, because the ones who I didn't ask, they already joined. They already registered. So Sofiana, Maylin, Fitrini, Harlina, I think Manoj also. And I heard Titi and Pradeep is also going to join, hopefully. Right. So I already count you on those 14, by the way. So I'm asking now the comments and questions from people who have not been asked before. So let me ask Ode. Ode, are you still there?
I am all ears.
Okay. So yeah, what do you think about the meeting? And because you said, I'm so excited to join this meeting today. And so I'd like to hear if it meets your expectation.
Yeah, for sure. Since I am aspiring to be coach and trainer for the future, I have heard a lot of stories and it is interesting. Just intrigued my feeling, okay, I will be more, and do more for my life. Hearing all your experiences just, okay, the question comes into my mind, can I do like what they did? Can I make myself even better than them? Like I have to do more, but how to do that? Probably will contact most of you here. I have to learn.
Yeah, well, you have to take the first step.
Yes.
And actually, you know, I was a bit amused by your saying that, how can I be better than them? Well, yeah, I don't think that is an issue. Just be you. Because
Sure,
you're
sure.
and you're
Sure
very
thing.
special to just be you and just develop yourself as a coach and a trainer. And that's one thing also I want to tell everybody. If you're a trainer, it's very easy for you to also become a coach and vice versa. And I think those are like goes hand in hand. And you will be able to do both and being a speaker on top of that. I mean, there's so many opportunities, you know, doing your digital products with all the materials that you're using. There are ways of doing that. I've been doing that, and Ping also has started to do that. So there's so many learnings to be learned, and I'm very excited for you. And I feel like, oh, I want to share all this with you guys, and while practicing my own stuff as well. All right. So if there is no more question, and yeah, who else haven't I asked? Anyone has questions? If no more question, then I'm going to end this here, as it's exactly 2 hours, like we said, and I'm allowing a lot of time for people just to really soak in the information and asking questions. And I will send you the recording so that you can listen to it again if you want, and also the presentation and the information, everything that you need, right? And Maylene, do you have any comment? Just last comment from you, and Sofiana also being the first, well, the third person to register, and then Maylene soon after, and then also Fitrini. Anything you would like to comment on, Maylene? Maylene is a trainer from Kuala Lumpur.
Trainer and also dabbling in a little bit of coaching right now. Recently, because of MCO, I've started to do online coaching. People approach me, and I realized that I have to be a bit actually more spiritual. So I actually went into the more heart-centric, where I forget about myself, but really focusing on these people and just letting it flow. Not coming pre-prepared with ideas on what to share and all that, but truly, yes, as you all said, by just listening and then connect there and then with the knowledge that I have that can help them. So with that, I realized that I actually am, or through manifestation, whatever, I mean, I'm glad that I'm within a circle of people who actually understand this concept. So I think it has been arranged, and I've always known that Indonesia and India are very spiritual to me. So this confluence in this club, I'm really hoping that, you know, it happens, and I'm very sure that it will happen. Okay, sorry for taking up the time. That's all I
No,
have to share.
thank you.
So
So
excited.
if you want to leave, you can leave, but I like to hang out and I'd like to ask a few more questions. I'd like to ask Manoj for your second time visiting the joining this meeting.
Thank you, Melinda. It's a pleasure to share the online space with such wonderful people. Very happy to see Jay today. It was a pleasant surprise. And I'm happy to associate. I'm not a professional trainer. I'm a learner. I'm an entrepreneur. I work on pharma and nutrition ingredients. A lot of these products are natural products. We deal with pharma, nutrition, cosmetic companies. So there is a lot of learning. I am associated with Toastmasters since 2000, and I met some wonderful people in Bangalore. Somebody has come at the door, so sorry. So that's it. I mean, I'm always learning, trying to, I can always share my experience. I have a lot of experience working in different domains. I started with paints, lubricants, healthcare, now in this nutraceutical, cosmeceuticals, and pharma space. So I've been a corporate person now for the last maybe 20 years or so as a profit center head. So a lot of experience to talk to. Maybe, yes, as Pradeep said, I'm from a rural background, not from an English-speaking native. So there's always many things to learn for us. That's what keeps us going. Thank you, Miranda. I mean, I'm always there. Thank you for getting in touch, and it's wonderful to meet all of you. Thank you.
You. I'm so touched by your humility. I'm just always learning, and I just love that spirit. And thank you for always keeping in touch. Right? Yeah. And I would like to ask Sofiana, because you just joined. You decided like, okay, I'm joining, and it's like before I was actually curious what made you join, because you were also like a Toastmaster a while ago, right? You joined a long time ago, and then you had a long break, and then you start becoming active again. And what did you see? What made you decide so quickly?
Okay, yeah. So I retired in 2018 from a research and training career, and I thought that was it. I'm going to relax and enjoy life as a retiree. But that didn't take place. Soon after, I started training, and sometimes through word of mouth, people ask me to train and so on. And I actually enjoyed that. But I was very touched with what Maylin mentioned, like heart-centric, because I tend to be more head-centric, and passing information from one head to another head, so to speak. So I think what you have here is very timely for me. It's reaching out in a different sense, like not just sharing of knowledge, but sharing of experiences, and a wholesome experience is what I'm looking for. So I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you. And Harlina, can I ask you just to share, because you're not a trainer yet, but you also feel called to I guess to grow in this direction, or something that made you join?
Actually, it's a bit similar to Toastmaster Ping. So I've been helping our fellow Toastmasters with a lot of things, especially now with pathways. Like me, I was from the legacy program, and it's sometimes very hard to convince those guys from the legacy program to adapt pathways. So, and then also other, like for example, tonight at 9 o'clock in the evening, I will initiate 2 new members of our club into the pathways program. I've done it a couple of times this year. I was like, well, okay, I love the help, but if I can sharpen my skills and maybe make it more, what do you call it, more financially beneficial?
Monetize.
Yeah, monetize. Yes, I can monetize. So
yeah, great.
Yeah.
We're all here to do that. Yeah, so here
Yay.
we have to kind of pussyfoot around it. Toastmasters is not talking about money. We're actually going to talk about it and help each other to reach a better level, better career and better income. And we have the same focus, right? We're going to use what we have here, what we learn to help us and help each other. Sharmini, you want to say something? I would like to hear from you.
All right.
Well, that's the thing. Jay was a member of the Professional Speakers Association last year for a year. And I think this is interesting. This club that you are chartering, it's like a cross between Toastmasters and a professional speaking association. So it's like it gets the best of both. It just doesn't address the business of speaking, but it addresses also the skill sets and the hard sets, if I may say so, of coaching and training. And I think this is a wonderful thing that you're doing, or all of you are starting. I'm so tempted to join, but I need to help Jay, and I only have so much energy right now because a lot of things are happening around me. But who knows? Maybe in the future.
When Jay is there, you'll be there. So no.
Yeah, I'll always be there. So I get the benefits.
The prize of one, right?
Sorry?
Get the prize of one. We get both of you for the prize of one.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, please be active and just join and join the conversation, because I really value your input and I just love everything that you've been saying about the heart of coaching, which is very important that we all need to learn.
No, I think all of us are healers in different ways. Even in Toastmasters, as mentors, even when we listen to speeches, even when we do our roles, it's like a small element of healing there that helps the individual who's doing whatever they're doing, whether they're speaking or evaluating or whatever. And I think that's my core belief. My core interest is to be a healer. And I know it has a wide umbrella. And Toastmasters, and the way we relate in our meetings, especially club meetings, I think the heart of Toastmasters is in the club meetings. And that's where the little healing helps, the building of confidence and stuff. It can change lives, so why not?
Yes. Oh, I'm so glad you speak, that way. I've always believed that I'm healed because of Toastmasters, I had a lot of issues and just by being listened to, that was my first healing experience in Toastmasters, by being listened without judgment, and the people just like, yeah, we want to hear you, that, and then in so many ways. So I'm a firm believer in that, and actually my career, my profession evolved through that. So I'm a life coach for emotional healing from, which the, I guess, develop or
And
start.
I could get a lot of things that you said to a lot of people today. I think it would help them a lot. I know it will help them a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's good. That's really wonderful. It's good, as Jay says, it's good to be in the fraternity of like-minded people, both head and heart-centered. So that's really wonderful.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I feel so blessed to have you with us, and I want to keep having you with us.
Thank you. I love listening to all of you speak.
I just told her I want to keep having you with me.
Well, when you're married to a Toastmaster.
Yes. Well, isn't that great that you have somebody that you can really communicate with? Imagine if you're not, being with a Toastmaster.
I think you have a like-minded beliefs.
Just that we get evaluated a lot, yeah.
How does that work for you? So that's a question. So I know that IU is also in the healing in business or industry or have a passion for that. I definitely do that, and I think I'm hearing now that Maylin is feeling that, is being called to that, which is so beautiful. Kind of like you're being guided to there, right? From very comfort, from very head to the heart, and then to the spiritual side. So I think it's not an accident, it's not a coincidence that
I believe the same. It's not an accident or coincidence. It's something more
cosmic,
than
serendipity.
Yes.
Yeah, the timing, the idea, and just like, okay, let's move that. And so okay. I know you already, you couldn't even stay for 2 hours. I know you're already staying for more than 2 hours here So I commend you for that, because you could have left, but you're still here. And this is what I mean. You know, we get into conversation. It's just so many interesting things, and it's not empty chat. And that's what I love, right? I mean, we all learn and we all contribute, and I think this is the beginning of something beautiful, something new that we haven't experienced that as a Toastmaster, as a group organization. So let's see where it takes us. You know, I mean, this, if you join, this is going to be your club. Everybody's going to be deciding where we're going to go with all this. All right. So
Yes.
Can I
yes,
say something?
sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. Connection is definitely something that we all value. That's why we are here and connect, and the possibility of what this online platform can bring to us for our connection and for what we bring in our work, our contribution to other people. I guess it's that love that will make us also to learn more on how to be truly serving from what serve you as well, right? And then I also in the notion of time, like also then if we are going to have more members and maybe they're busy and doing a lot of online things, it's having that specific time that it is okay, all the meeting is that, and then always the platform is available for us to want to stay maybe half an hour longer is to chat, or some of the members needing some support or need to be listened to. And in the coaching, because we are coaches, then we can serve each other by giving a little bit of time and more listening to each other when our circumstance outside may not be so nurturing and supporting us. So then that is the extra slot that is always open for everyone who's available.
I can see, an hour and a half for the formal meeting, and then another half hour for whatever you call this. Just
connection time.
Fellowship.
Last half an hour for letting loose.
Yeah. I think
for listening and for connection. I think that has been coming up a lot. Listening, definitely a lot, and love is a lot, and then I think connection. We all want that, and that's why we're here. So
yeah, Miranda, I think this 1.5 hours thing is a good thing, because one of our previous clubs, we just attended a meeting and they had reduced it to 1.5 hours from 2 hours.
Yeah.
And what was amazing was that everyone was so careful about time, which they weren't before. It was such a big change. So, and I think as trainers and coaches, especially as trainers, time is so important.
Yeah.
I mean, to be aware of, to stop before the listener stops listening, right? They always say
Actually, Miranda wanted this to be a little more flexible than Toastmasters. That's why she kept, more time. Now it's again coming back to
back.
I do a shorter time. I came from a club that meets for 2.5 hours, and that feels very long, and that has come to 2 hours now. But I think, with what we are able to do, and being very focused and really clear what we want to do or what we want to share, that could be even tighter. So an hour and a half can work. I can really see that works. We just have to figure it out how, so that we not too short that we're missing out things, but also not too long that is dragging. So like in the words of Papa Green, like a mini skirt, what is it, short enough to be attractive, but not long enough to cover everything. I can't remember, but it's like, I'll find it for you and I send it to you all. So just the right mini skirt, not too short that your bum shows.
But not long enough.
I think I should probably not record that, because it's a little bit off topic. But anyway, so I would like to thank everybody once again for staying. It's like we're 15 minutes over time. Well, not really, because we're just chatting, but and I really enjoyed that. I was a little bit tired before I start this meeting, but I get a lot of energy just from the togetherness, from the sharing, from the love that I feel, from the listening. Everybody's really listening attentively. So this is very auspicious, I think, an auspicious beginning.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good on you. Take
Right.
care, everybody.
Yes. Okay. Bye-bye. Keep
Right.
in
God
touch.
bless you all.
Bye.
Thank you.
Take care. Thanks, Miranda.
Bye, Melin.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Miranda.
Bye. Bye-bye.